I'm Mark Fuller, Principal Project Surveyor with Borough Council Kings Lynn and West Norfolk. I was responsible for the delivery of the Stories of Lynn project here at Kings Lynn Town Hall. I was client representative for the project in its delivery, working with PLB on the exhibition fit-out element of the project. It was a very large and complex project. We were keen to achieve a refresh of the displays here at Kings Lynn Town Hall. The displays were very dated from the mid-80s, and with the help of funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund, we redeveloped the Stories of Lynn to what you see today.
In the Stories of Lynn project, we wanted to explore the history of Kings Lynn, in particular the relevance of this building, which has been at the centre of civic life for over 800 years. PLB had some really innovative and exciting thoughts on how we could display our collections that we hold here. One of the highlights is the Sea of Spoons, which is a fantastic backdrop to the King John Cup. We used lots of new technology, including projections and also AVs, to tell the exciting stories and make them come to life for the visitor. We had a really great communication between us as the client and them as the project leads. I felt like they kept us on schedule, kept up with our deadlines, and the end result is really amazing.
One of the displays that PLB designed actually captures feedback on the exit from the displays, and the feedback that we've received on there has been really, really positive. Some people have likened it to sort of exhibitions way above what you'd expect to see in a small market town like Kings Lynn. They've been really, really high praise for it.
We now have a really exciting heritage attraction for local people and also for visitors to the town, and we think it adds to the cultural offer for Kings Lynn. It's really exciting to have this new display full of interesting information and exciting collections, all presented in a really new and user-friendly way.
From the moment you step into it, you're on the trail of the history of Kings Lynn. And not everybody loves history, of course, but I think there's enough for everybody to get interested. You know, the kids, they like it. There's lots of activities they can do. And there's some good artwork as well. I particularly like the display of the spoons. I think that's very clever. I haven't heard anybody who has already been, and there are a lot, to say anything negative about it. I haven't.
My name's Major Rick Henderson. I'm the Museum Director of the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers Museum, otherwise known as the REME Museum. What we were looking for when we hired PLB was a designer to give us a 21st century innovative and interactive museum. I've been involved with the project right from the tender evaluation stage all the way through the design stage to the completion. Working with PLB has actually been a very rewarding and enjoyable experience. They brought a lot of great ideas to our party, but always listened to everything that we wanted, because we were quite firm on what we wanted to do, and yeah, in the end it was just a very, very good professional working partnership. The end result is we now have exactly what we set out to get, if not more than that. We definitely have a 21st century museum. It's full of innovation. There's lots of interactives for not only the children but adults to engage with. It very accurately tells the story of the core of REME since we were formed until the modern day, and I just think, yeah, it's absolutely everything we could have wanted. One of the things that we wanted was from feedback from the visitors. They wanted to be able to climb inside one of our vehicles. Well, because all of our vehicles are part of the historic collection, we can't allow that. But what PLB did for us, they created one of the vehicles that we currently can't get our hands on, and did a life-size model that is absolutely superb, that even has wheelchair accessibility into it and everything, and it's a masterpiece. We were really impressed ourselves with the feedback we had from our own core members, so you know, our senior officers right down to the warrant officers and senior ranks, that were so impressed with how we've done it. And for the members of the public that saw it, they said, you know, they just love the way that we've laid it all out and tell the story. So again, from people who didn't know anything about REME, to have that sort of feedback was obviously very, very encouraging.
I'm Shannon Hermes, I'm the museum manager for the Charles Dickens Museum. The museum obviously had been around since 1925 and was very old, very run down and quite tired, needed a lot of work and regeneration. So obviously what we were looking to achieve is to bring the museum into the contemporary times. I did work with PLB directly, and I have to say they were a fantastic team to work with. Very collaborative, very friendly, very open to discussion and taking our ideas and actually making them solid. So taking our vision and actually creating something beautiful. So I had a fantastic time working with them. They basically designed the overall museum down to the fittings, the fixtures, the carpets, the new cases that we had installed. I have to say the whole project went very, very well. It was a very short time that we had to work in and they were under very tight deadlines. So I have to say that the fact that they produced a beautiful design for the museum and we achieved it in such a short time frame, I mean, was a spectacular effort. And so all credit to them. Our visitors are so positive about the experience and so positive about coming here. That's the one thing that we find that they say overriding everything else is the fact that they feel welcomed. They are coming into a beautiful space and they do feel like they're coming into Dickens's home, which is exactly what we wanted them to feel. They feel like they're walking in Dickens's footsteps, and PLB have just created this beautiful space where people can come and engage with Dickens the writer and Dickens the man. So our overwhelming visitor response is just that they think the space is beautiful and so authentically presented and like a time capsule. So we have some fantastic reviews on TripAdvisor, and PLB have absolutely done the whole project justice.
I found the visit today very enjoyable. Well, certainly it was evocative of probably how the building was when Dickens lived there. I mean, some of it was obviously set up as a museum because it was in cases, but the good thing was that a lot of them weren't. I mean, there was a dining table laid out and you just walk around. If you wanted to, you could touch the things. Not that one would. But yes, it was excellent.